Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1, the president shall be commander-in-chief of the Army and Navy of the United States and the militia of several states. See, Air Force, you're not an actual service. We told you so. Sorry. When called in the actual service of the United States, he may require the opinion in writing of the principal officer in each of the executive departments upon any subject relating to the duties of their respective officers. Where is the pardon portion here? Oh, here he is. And he shall have power to grant reprieves and pardons for offenses against the United States, except in cases of impeachment. Now, right here, it's in the text. There's no arguing with this. What does it say?
He can do it.
Reprieves and pardons
for offenses against the United States.
You have to have committed a crime in order for him to issue a pardon.
You can't just go, well, for anything that you've done, that's what kings used to do.
Yes, that's exactly what kings used to do.
It was called a letter of marque.
No, that's not a letter of marque. Letter of marque allows you to do pirate shit.
Yes, but a lot of times
on behalf of the kings.
It's signed by the king.
Yes. Yeah. So what you would go do pirate shit for the king, and then you'd come back, and then he'd pardon you.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to execute the letter of marque for the king, and then come back, which didn't always happen.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of guys got smoked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? The Constitution establishes the President's authority to grant clemency, encompassing not only pardons of individuals, but several other forms of relief from criminal punishment as well. The power, which has historical roots in early English law, kings, has been recognized by the Supreme Court as quite broad. In the 1886 case Ex parte Garland, the court referred to the president's authority to pardon as unlimited, except in cases of impeachment, extending to every offense known to the law and able to be exercised either before legal proceedings are taken or during their pendency or after conviction and judgment. Now, legal proceedings must be in place, even if the pardon is issued before the legal proceeding.
Yes.
There has to, again, have been a crime.
A noted crime.
A noted crime. Which brings up the whole grand jury thing that I was talking about earlier this evening when we started the show.
Phrasing.
Phrasing. Much later, the court wrote that the broad power conferred in the Constitution gives the president plenary authority to forgive a convicted person in part or entirely, to reduce a penalty in terms of a specified number of years, or to alter it with certain conditions. Despite the breadth of the president's authority under the Pardons Clause, the Constitution's text provides for at least two limits on the power. First, clemency may only be granted for offenses against the United States, meaning the state criminal offenses and federal or state civil claims are not covered. Okay, so it's got to be a federal crime.
Uh-huh.
There were a bunch of J6ers who were pardoned under Trump that are now facing charges in their individual states. Thing is, those states should be considered fruit of the poison tree. No crime was committed in that state. The state doesn't have grounds for any of that, and any raids that were conducted on any of their homes, and here's the fruit of the poison tree portion, what they're charging these guys with is finding stuff in their homes during the course of the federal raid, which should have never taken place, making that evidence fruit from the poisonous tree.
Correct.
Which means they shouldn't be prosecuted. For actual results, those may vary. Consult your lawyer.
Uh-huh.
Despite the breadth of the president's authority, et cetera, et cetera. Second, the president's clemency authority cannot be used in cases of impeachment. So if you get your ass impeached, like a certain judge may be looking at right now, at least one judge, there's nothing that the president can do for you. Beyond textual limits, certain external constitutional and legal considerations may act as constraints on the power. For instance, the court has indicated the power may be exercised at any time after an offense's commission, reflecting that the president may not preemptively...
Here we go.
At any time after an offense's commission, reflecting that the president may not preemptively immunize future criminal conduct.
You're fucked.
You're so fucked.
You are so fucked.
You're right in the bungus.
The balls are slapping off your chin now.
In Schick versus Reed, the court recognized that...
Did you say shit versus Reed?
I did not, but I could.
Okay.
In Schick versus Reed, the court recognized that an exercise of clemency may include any condition which does not otherwise offend the Constitution, suggesting that the president may not make clemency subject to a condition that is prohibited by another constitutional provision. For those of you out there, and I know you exist because I exist, which means you're out there too somewhere, who have family members, friends who are going, "You can't know, he issued a pardon." I'm going to read this portion again.
All right.
This is in the congressional record for the Constitution. The link is in the descripto. Check the Meat Gazer box or check the website. You know where the links go. Beyond textual limits, certain external constitutional and legal considerations may act as constraints on the power. For instance, the court has indicated that the power may be exercised at any time after an offense is commissioned, reflecting that the president may not preemptively immunize future criminal conduct. And that's every pardon that was issued with no criminal conduct pending.
Correct.
Not even a grand jury.
That's right. Straight up.
There you have it. This is in the congressional record. It's part of the constitutional record. It's Article 2, Section 2, Clauses 1 and 2.
If we had a king, he could do that.
Yep.
But we don't have a fucking king. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And here's another thing. So technically, a president can pardon himself.
Has that ever been done?
No, not that I know of.
bother
But
to look for
technically,
that.
it can be done.
Technically, yeah.
So the president, on his last year, could start a nonprofit and basically steer billions of dollars to it.
Yeah.
And then give himself a pardon. And there's fuck all anyone could do about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that needs to get fixed. Because something is telling me all of these, couple thousand people who got pardoned are all on the hook for dipping their beak into the tax well of this country in some shape, form, or fashion.
Did you just say dipping their dick into the ass well of the country?
Yes, pretty much.
Thank you.
All right.
I don't recall anybody buying me a drink or offering a reach.
I know. Like, that's just rude,
Yeah,
man.
it is.
I didn't get a box of chocolate.
No box of chocolates. No thank you card after.
Nothing.
No mention of a second date.
Not even a courtesy wipe.
No.
Get the hell out of here.
It's bad. It's absolutely
Dude.
bad. But anyway, that's
this is
what
going
the
to wind up. This
Constitution-
is going to wind up in a 2-way rifle range.
Yeah. Article 2, Section 2 of the Constitution clearly states that you cannot issue a pardon with no crime having been committed. It's right there. It's in the text. Anybody who comes at you with no, fuck you. Here it is.
But this is what they're going to try to do. They're gonna, no
they are.
crime committed, or no crime that's actually been charged yet.
No, nothing has been investigated yet.
I know, but they're going to.
This was a preemptive attempt to pardon before the investigation. What the text clearly says in the Constitution is, in the case of a grand jury convening and returning an indictment, at that point,
You can do it.
once you've got an indictment, the president can say, pardon. So the trial will go forward. Whatever will happen, happens. But then the pardon takes effect after all of that.
Mm-hmm. So he can't pardon you to stop the trial.
There's no convening of a grand jury yet.
Mm-hmm.
So the pardon...
Plus, the pardon does not clear your criminal record either.
I don't know. I've never had a pardon.
Well, if you've been convicted,
yeah,
and you've been sent in prison,
uh-huh,
and then all of a sudden you've been pardoned,
yeah,
they immediately release you, but you still have a conviction on your record. It's
okay,
not expunged.
I don't have a criminal record either, so...
Well, technically you and I have a criminal record. But...
We do not. We have an arrest record, which is entirely different.
Yeah, you're right.
Especially since CID and...
doesn't have
FBI,
doesn't have arrest powers.
They don't have arrest powers at all, but it's an administrative action.
Yeah. That's another show.
It is another show.
Watch Grunt Speak live every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you want to join Pop for Supporter Sundays, go to redonkulous.com/donate and make a monthly pledge. A link is in the Meat Gazer box.